Hello folks, welcome back. We're doing another Nirvana track. I'm amazed that there's still so many of these that we haven't done, but I'm also delighted because I love working them out. So let's start with the bad news. You're going to have to detune your guitar a half step. So feel free to tune to me. It's E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. Now tone-wise, I'm using this. This is the Carl Longbottom Fulvia guitar, and I'm also using the 1991 by Funny Little Boxes. You basically want a fairly light overdrive. You want the notes to kind of cut through, and it is quite a trebly tone if you listen to the album version. Okay, so that's what I'm going for. I think that's pretty close to my ears. So it starts off with this funky chord. And then you got something like that, right? So, I mean, I'm going 11, 12, 13, 14 with the open E, right? And you've got, I think it's that. It's 14, 14, 16. Or you could do... you could just do 14, 14 and then slide down if you wish. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the verse, I want to just run through the basic chords. So you've got a B7. Then you've got an E7. Then you go to an F sharp. But you've got the open B and E, right? Alongside the low part of the major chord, and then you go to an open E. So what Kurt's doing basically then is picking out some odd notes really with those first two chords. So we have so what I would fret is just those 2, 1, 2, then up one string to the second fret on the D, and then I play 2, 1, 3. I'm using my second, first, and fourth fingers now. You know, but he tends to do. He doesn't tend to play that very often. And usually he'll abandon the riff because he's got to change to this next chord, right? So you'll get... and you'll sometimes hear that. Okay, not all the time though, right? I mean, to be honest, the last 2 eighth notes that I've put in there, you only hear that a couple of times, but I've just put it in case you want to use it. But really don't worry too much about what you're playing there. As long as you're going to get in that vibe, what you put in between isn't really going to make a huge amount of difference, right? So when we get to these chords, we're going to play, and that is basically like a palm muted kind of whack, right? So I'm just deadening the note down with my right hand, right? And then with the upstroke, because I'm slamming my hands onto the strings, with the upstroke you're going to catch the top 4-ish strings, right? And then you do up, down, up as the strum, right? And here I just slide down, I abandon my first finger and I slide down for the E, just because it's super easy to go between the E, right? Imagine there was a fret there, I'd be playing that, right? then round again, okay? So that is pretty much it for the verse riff. The next riff is this. It plays... that, basically. But you're going to play an A to a C sharp with this rhythm. Okay, don't worry if you have band in the last eighth note, so you can, you know, move quicker. That's not a problem at all. Now live, I see Kurt just playing. He's just taking his fingers off. But Pat Smear, you'll see playing full chords. Like that, right? Now I've also done another little fill, which is this, because you do hear... Okay? You could do... You know, I think occasionally what's happening, you're getting the fifth in the root, right? So you're hearing 4-4-6-6-6. I wouldn't play it all the time though, because I don't hear it that strongly. But for the fifth fret, you can get in that. So, you know, you can jazz it up a bit that way if you want. Now, those chords, A to C sharp, play around 4 times. And then you go into this little turnaround part. So you've got... You got those 2 chords, right? So you have the F sharp again to a C, and then you've got as horrible and out of tune chord as you can get there. Basically, I think it's 11, 11, 12, 12, and then the 13th fret on the E, right, for the second bar. So you would have. And back around, okay? And then you basically have verse, chorus, but the there's a solo that comes in, which plays just over the verse part. And we have this. Starts out with a full step bend on the 4th fret on the G, but you are doing an artificial harmonic as well. And some more picking. You know, something along those lines. And then you've got... Which is just... Which is... Goes over that bit, right? Pretty straightforward. The next part then is... So some melodic stuff then we have... So you start on the 2nd fret there, on the A, and then you move up to the 2nd fret on the next string, the D. Little sort of bend and release. And the open D, and then 3, 4, 1. So there's an 8th note rest at the beginning of the 2nd bar. So those 2 bars. Very similar, and then we've got a slide 2nd to 4th fret. Really straightforward. Okay, and then we're going to slide up to the 14th fret. This one I'm not too sure on, but I think you do a half step bend. And you basically, like when you pull that sharp, right, when you bend sort of down towards the floor, the next string is kind of under my finger a bit there. I don't know if you can see that. So see that there? And I'm basically then playing those two notes together. If I can turn up my volume. Okay, so you do a... something along those lines. Alright, so you just release it and then play a couple more. And then you have... okay, and that's over that bit. And when you're playing those single note things, you can always join in with those chords as well if you want. And then the last 4 bars of the solo go like this. Alright, that's it. So we have... you're basically fretting a note on the G string and you're playing an open B, right? So the first one, it's either a hammer-on or a slide. And you're just moving up and down that same string, right? So that's the first lick. Then you've got... it's the first 2 bars. And the last 2 bars. That's it. It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? I mean, Kurt's solos are always super understated and, you know, just quite noodly, really. So it doesn't really matter. You don't need to worry about getting it all exactly right. So that was it. I think that's all of the parts you need. Hope you enjoyed that one. See you again soon. Cheers.